In Southern California, there were multiple fires during September of 2022, and the Radford fire did serious damage to Big Bear and the forest in the San Bernardino Mountains. And in some locations, a freak rainstorm put some of the fires out. And when there's rain right after fires, that usually causes mudslides and landslides. And these deadly forest fires cause the wildlife to move around and go to places they don't normally go. And this was made evident by my last trip to Whitewater right after those fires. This is Cryptids, and I'm Jenna Bosiger. And if you also have an interest in cryptids, then please hit the like for this video, make sure you're subscribed, and click the notifications bell if you would like to be notified every time I post new videos or go live. Whitewater is a place that I frequently go, and I've been going to for quite a long time. It's pretty amazing because the river runs all year round and goes all the way down to Palm Springs, where it's very, very hot. And it's kind of a miracle to have running cold water flowing in the hot desert. But it comes all the way from the San Bernardino Mountains and up in the Big Bear area. And it's a place that I frequently go with Waldo, and I meet a friend and we walk our dogs. I even used to come here with Timber before that, and in all the times that I've come, I don't find hardly any prints. I found this one barefoot track when I was with Timber one time, and I found this other strange track upstream with these stone circles surrounding this strange print. I took a picture of that, but other than that, I don't normally find hardly any prints of any kind in the area that I go to in Whitewater. I figured it was because the wildlife has the entire river upstream and there's no real reason for them to be coming downstream where all the people are known to be. However, the last time I went was right after the fires, and the river was very affected by the fires and the mudslides. And the rangers were even like reforming the river. And when the fire happened up there, it brought all the ash and the rain and the debris coming down that Whitewater River in like a flash flood. So there was deep mud everywhere, something most people don't like, but when I see, I get very excited about because I love to look for prints. But it was obvious that these prints were here because of the fire or the mudslides or both. And there were so many prints of so many different kinds, saw trails of different types of animals that don't normally come down here. There's no swimming or fishing allowed at Whitewater, but that doesn't mean people don't break the law and do it anyways. And I've also heard about people, usually children, drowning and dying in the river because it's very rocky, it's very unpredictable at times, and in places it changes a lot, and flash floods and all of that, and that's why it's illegal. But when it's really busy in the summertime, sometimes you'll see just people parked alongside of the road, just trampling over all of the landscape and starting fires and leaving all kinds of trash, from diapers to cigarette butts, just leaving a huge mess. It's usually not very busy at all, actually. But every once in a while, there's days in the summer when it just, you'll go and it's filled up. And if I go and the parking lot's full, then I turn around and I leave and I go somewhere else, because that means it's at full capacity. But this time that I went, there weren't that many people there. And sure enough, amongst the prints were some smaller footprints with toes. I put the tip of my foot in every picture of a print that I'm taking to use for measurement, because I can measure it later and then measure the print. Otherwise, it's just pointless to have a bunch of pictures of prints with nothing in the picture to use for scale. So using my foot as measurement, the biggest print was only like 5 inches, which is smaller than an adult footprint. So I know that feet print don't equate to Bigfoot, but I decided to take a closer look at these prints and examine them to see if it's possible that they weren't made by humans. Seeing all these prints, it makes me really wonder what kind of a scene it was with all these animals coming down the mountain. Was the mud hot, or was the mud cool? Was the water hot? You know, were they all running at the same time? Look at the size of this cat print, and you can tell cat prints from dog prints because cat prints don't have claws at the end of the paws. And this print is huge. I measured it, according to my math, it is about 5¼ inches long. That's huge. I've never seen a cat print that big. It's so big. I wish I could do the math to figure out how big that would make the cat, but it was huge. From my observations, I recognized something in these prints that's very strange, and that was standing in a V shape. I have noticed that in my old research prints, and I noticed it in these, and I think it's very weird. It's like heels together and feet apart, and I saw that quite a few times in these new prints, and I thought that was interesting. Also, looking at the toes, you want the toes to be splayed, which means just spread out because they haven't been in shoes. And I also like to look at the ends, zoom in and look at the ends of the toes to see if I can see any nails or claws or jagged nails. Also, I like to zoom in and look around the edges to see if I can see like hair coming from the sides, or if it's a clean, line. And humans have a big arch, and they have pea pods for toes, just little circles, little dots. And sometimes they aren't even, you can't even see the toes a lot of times. Usually you can't see the toes. Then Bigfoots have very strong toes, and they have independent ability to grip the ground and leave long marks. And so you'll see long toes and not the pea pod toe prints. Also, a flat foot. But the baby Bigfoots seem to be more narrow towards the bottom, but they are wide as well. And humans have a really strong ball of the footprint and a strong ball of the heel. And that arch is sometimes completely missing from the footprint. I also came back a second time, and most of the prints had kind of disappeared, and there weren't really any new ones, but I did find this one upstream, and it has what look like two big toes. Where the little toe is and the big toe, there's like two big toes. That's weird. And then this other footprint with these scratch lines all around it is very weird too. Usually when there are larger Bigfoot around, they're walking on the stones, and they also have the ability to walk. It's easy for them to walk on just half of their foot because their foot splits in half. They can walk on just the front part or just the back part very easily. They can run on just the front parts or just the heels too. So if you see that, it's not conclusive, but it is, possibility. And judging by these footprints that I found, I would say, taken in context, there's a 50% chance that they might have been made by a family of Bigfoot who were also part of this exodus from the fire by all these different wild animals. You can see so many. Look at these little teeny prints. They're so cute. The little hand, look how teeny. Oh, it's so cute. But I mean, just all of the animals were running from, either running from the fire, or maybe they were coming there to cool their paws. All right, well, I guess that's going to conclude this episode. This is Cryptids, and I'm Jenna Bosiger. And if you also share an interest in cryptids and the wildlife, then please don't forget to hit the like for this video. Make sure you're subscribed, and hit the notifications bell if you would like to be notified every time I upload new videos or go live. And until next time, Bye.